Welcome to Yin Yoga. I'm Christy. Let's take a breath. All right, today you want some kind of support. We're going to do a supported back bend. I'm just going to use a folded yoga blanket, a Mexican blanket, and I think I'm just going to lie on it and let my shoulders and my head come off. So you need a blanket, a towel, a yoga mat that you can roll up, a pillow, a bed pillow works nice, a long skinny pillow can work, yoga blocks, if you have a way that you like to do your supported back bend, any prop at all that you're feeling like will work for you today. So if you don't have something, you might want to stop and go get something. And then today we're gonna really focus our minds on acceptance. So it's been a really stressful week for me. And at one point I was just like, okay, back up, right? Try to peel some of that stress back. The situation is what the situation is. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to work to, make things better and to cope and to deal with what's going on in my life. But I need to accept that this is what it is, and I don't have complete control, right? I can't change it. I can't completely control it. And all of that stuff is only going to make me sicker and more unhappy and more stressed out, right? So just this idea of acceptance, and this is where I think, what I think is one of the great things about practicing yoga and meditation is that, over time, it's taken me a really long time to get any bit of awareness of, really being able to notice what's happening with me. And I still am not, amazing at it. I'm still working at being conscious of what I'm experiencing in the moment. But I think the more we practice, the more conscious we become of what we're experiencing. And then just in the ways that we can try to pull back a little bit and minimize our suffering, which I think is really what yoga, what Buddhism, what meditation is really about, is that there were so many challenging things in life, and trying to minimize the suffering that just to some degree we create for ourselves just in how we respond to things. So being able to witness what, how we're reacting and see if we can change our responses a little bit. It's a really hard process to get there. So we're just gonna reflect a little bit today about, what maybe we're fighting against. So we're all gonna work to make things better. But there's also, can we have also at the same time have this level of acceptance that this is what is in this moment. And, I think it's great to experience our anger and, hate certain things about what's happening, but then work on acceptance so that we're not, suffering through this experience, whatever that may be. Okay, let's take a breath. And then we're gonna come right into a butterfly pose. So we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. We're gonna push them forward. Ooh, that's already, right? I could feel all that stress that's in my body this week. So I may have been able to peel it back a little bit, but not completely. So soles of the feet together, we're pushing the feet a little bit forward. So right, cobbler's pose is we're pulling the feet in. This is butterfly. We're pushing the feet forward so the body starts to shift forward. We're rounding our spines. And then if your head is okay hanging, you can let your head hang. I think I'm probably going to do a little up and down here. I'm going to try to let my neck hang a little bit because it's tight. And I know that letting my head hang is often really helpful. But I also know that if I leave my head down for too long, when it's a little inflamed, I'm going to say, when it's a little tight, tender, sore, I know if I leave my head down too long, it's going to aggravate it. So we're looking for where is this middle ground. And so that's kind of like this thing of acceptance and while trying to change things, right? So I have to accept that my neck is tight and delicate, and I can't just force it to feel better. And I can give it a little bit of, hanging, a little bit of work on making it better, but really accepting that, the whole time is not going to be great for it. And breathe. So some of that acceptance can be about this physical practice of yoga, about asana, about what's going on in our bodies. I don't always like what's happening in my body. I don't always like the sensations. But try to just really accept it and let go into it. And what I find is that then the body starts to let go, right? When I fight it, the body just gets tighter, it gets worse. When I try to force it somewhere, it just gets worse. So accepting what's happening and then seeing if you can let go a little bit into that. So what's this whole integration of mind and body, right? It's so mysterious how the mind works and how it connects with the body and what's going on. Breathing. So as we hold this pose, again, you may feel like you need to bring your whole body up. Maybe it's not just your head that needs to come up. Maybe you need to bring your whole body up and lengthen your spine. And then curl back into your pose. Okay, we're gonna come up and we're gonna straighten out the legs. Lean back. Let's roll onto our let's roll onto our backs. And observe how it feels to be flat on your back. All right, so we're going to take it into a reclining do here. We're going to take the feet out wide, so we've got some space between the knees, and let's drop the legs to the right. So we're going to focus on this left leg. We're letting this left leg drop down towards the floor. Right leg can go anywhere you want it. You can keep it bent. You can sometimes I put the foot on the floor with the knee up. So that right leg, it's just about finding where it's comfortable. So left leg, my left leg is not touching the floor. It's hanging down. Yours might touch the floor. Mine's not. So we're going to work through quads and into the hip here. So you can vary. If it's really tight and tense, draw that left knee in closer to your right knee. Not so intense, move that left foot back, or come into a half reclining hero pose with that foot tucked up next to your hip. And that's just really going to depend on how your knee is, what's happening, how tight this leg is. And then breathe. And so contemplating maybe some of the challenges in your life. And so again, these are things that, sometimes there's really, nothing that we can do to change certain things that are happening. But think about the things that, are not that maybe the happy points in your life, that are maybe a little difficult, a little frustrating, a little upsetting. Or maybe people in your life that are difficult or upsetting. And I'm not saying you should, accept anybody treating you badly. So that kind of stuff, no. There's certain things that we don't want to accept, and we want to get out and move on. But other times there's just situations that are unpleasant. And so are there things that you're struggling with? And can you just accept that, certain things are hard? I think this is my thing, is that, we want to think that we can fix everything, we can make everything good, we can make everything perfect, we can live some perfect life. And so when we hit these bumps, it's really hard to accept the bumps. And so that's where we, cause ourselves a lot of suffering through that non-acceptance. So is there something that's just, that's challenging, that you can accept? And so noticing where we're resisting and how that resistance may be harmful. So there are certain situations where, resistance is a good thing, right? We need to be, not accepting of certain things. So again, if somebody's really being horrible to you, maybe accepting that that's what the situation is, instead of thinking that we can, maybe that's a way to think about that. I've had horrible bosses that, I just needed to get away from. But so just accepting that job was never going to get better. Right? I couldn't fantasize my way into that job being better. That boss was always going to be horrible and mean to everyone. There was no fixing that. So I think it's probably, seeing clearly too about, what is. All right, we're going to release this leg and just see how it's feeling. Maybe you want it to lengthen out along the floor. Maybe you feel like you want the foot up in the air. I think I want a full body stretch here. And so with the poses too, right, we want to accept that some things are going to be difficult and some things we're not going to be able to do. So, we can accept that our bodies are tight or certain things are happening, but again, we don't want to force into a pose. So just like, yeah, this one's not good for me. It's really not helping me. It's causing me, more suffering than easing my suffering. And so we're really trying to ease our suffering here. So just noticing again how you're feeling, how you're thinking about your practice. Okay, so we're going to take legs to the opposite side. So feet on the floor, some space between your feet, so there's some space between your knees. We're going to let the legs drop to the left. So now the focus is going to be on the right leg. The left leg can be anywhere you like. And then that right leg, if it's not so tight, maybe you're going to bring that foot up and tuck it next to your hip. So you've got that knee bent and the shins kind of facing the floor. But again, it's all about what you're experiencing and what feels okay. And sometimes I can get into a deeper spot and then go, no, this is not where I need to be, and I'll change it. So let yourself change if you're not in the right spot. Okay, breathe. And just contemplate, again, what are you resisting? What can you accept? So right now I can hear the ice cream truck outside. And I really hate the sound of that ice cream truck just going on and on and on. Like, it's annoying too. So simple things like this can be a great way to practice, to just accept, okay, it's ice cream truck season again. And I'm gonna hear this guy coming around. So just accepting that's what is. I'll move on and eventually I'll stop hearing it. So I can let myself get really aggravated and annoyed by the sound, or I can, try to relax into it a bit. And have some compassion for the poor ice cream truck driver who has to listen to that music all day. I only have to hear it for a few minutes. Just a little bit longer. So we're gonna ease our way out of this side. So try to slide that leg out. That side was pretty intense for me. All right, and so the more intense it is, then the gentler you want to be when you come out. Slower you may need to go. Just any way that you feel like you need to, sort of stretch or let go on this side. Take a breath. Oh, that feels better. Yeah, so the thing I notice too when I'm, really, when I'm going through these like difficult days, weeks where things are really disruptive, stressful, is that then when I do yoga, it's like, wow, right? It's just like I need it so badly, and I can just feel it in my body, just this little shift of, right, like the energy just starts to flow. So again, if you're not experiencing that, it's a very individual thing. But I do think the longer you practice, the more you start to really notice those subtleties in the body. And so it's just kind of interesting when you start to really feel that. Okay. Oh, I'm ready to nap now. So if it were just me, if I weren't making a video for you guys, I would have done those couple of poses and then just taken a nap. So you can do that. You have that choice. But if you like, we'll do a few more poses. But yeah, when I start to yawn, it's just like, okay, the body's calming down, the nervous system is calming down. So let's do a wide leg fold here. I'm going to do a wide leg fold. Let's do, there's always so many things I want to do. We'd be here all day. Even though I said I wanted to nap, there's still things that I want to do. Okay, so let's do a half butterfly. So we're going to take our feet out wide. And then we're pulling this left foot in. And then if you like, you can use props, you can use blocks, you can use pillows. You may not need blocks, you may not need a prop at all. I often like just the tactile sense of something soft to support me, to lean forward on. So we're just leaning straight over. If you feel like you want to do more over the leg, go for it. That's not feeling right for me today. So I'm gonna come this way. But if you want to change that a little bit, so if you want to do a wide leg fold over each leg, you can do that too. That does feel nice, but I don't think I can hold it for that long. So you can adjust and adapt. So finding your spot. And maybe there's a little bit of shifting that needs to happen here. A little wiggling. So you may find, again, that things start to tighten up and you need to back up a little bit, or maybe that you start to let go and you want to lift up again and lengthen up and then come back down. Then head to hang, or you can hold your head up. Maybe there's some more yawns or deep breaths that are going to happen in there. So yeah, if you start to yawn during yoga, it's usually an indication that your nervous system is calming down. So it's not a bad thing at all. I think sometimes we can be a little uncomfortable, or I don't know that embarrassed is quite the right word, but we can feel like, we shouldn't be yawning in the middle of yoga. But yeah, actually that's a really good thing. When you start to yawn, it's a really good sign that the nervous system is calming down, which is in my opinion, is a big part of really what we're going for in yoga. Calming our nervous systems so we calm our minds, improve our well-being. going up. And we're going to change sides. So first you might need to kick back a little bit, move your legs around, wiggle your toes. All right, so then we're doing feet wide. So again, if you're just gonna fold over the other side, go that way. If you're coming into a half butterfly, you're gonna bring this right foot in. And we're gonna fold forward. Wow, this leg is tight. Yeah, I was noticing yesterday when I was teaching that the whole right side of my body is tight. At first I thought it was my neck, and then as we started moving, I was like, nope, it's my whole right side. Okay, coming on up. And again, you can kind of shake out your legs a bit. Maybe even massage them a little bit. And then we'll do our supported back bends. So again, any prop at all you want to use, you can take your blanket and roll it up, and it can go across your back right below your shoulder blades, or you can fold it long ways. So if you have a yoga mat, that's probably the easiest thing, is to roll it and then do it across your back. So again, it sits right under your shoulder blades. So I've got my yoga blanket folded up. So just a little bit of thickness to it, not too much. And I'm gonna sit on it, and I'm gonna try to get my shoulder blades to come off onto the floor so that this little edge is pushing into my back, right below my shoulder blades. And then we'll see how that goes. So with the blankets or towel, it's nice because you can adjust. So if this is too thick or too thin, I can change it just by rolling it or folding it differently. Let's see, where is the top edge? All right, so this is pretty subtle, which is what I'm looking for today. So if yours is more intense, as long as you're feeling like it's not too intense, that's, it's all about what you're experiencing, what you think you need today. And then your arms. So again, depending on how deep your prop is, so if you're on blocks, obviously your whole arm's not going to be touching the floor like this, but you can do your arms close in, out to your sides. You can bring them up overhead for a little bit. So since my blanket is low, it's not as much pull on my shoulders, so I might keep my hands overhead the whole time. But if I were using blocks and doing a heart bench, I'd probably just bring my arms up for a few breaths and then bring them down. All right, you can choose where your legs are going. You can have the soles of your feet on the floor. You can have your feet together in a reclining cobbler's pose. Or you can have your legs out straight. And so you can play around and just see what feels good, what doesn't feel good. So here, let's focus a little bit on love and compassion. So we've looked at, what may be difficult, what we can accept. And so let's give ourselves a little bit of love and compassion. The fact that life is often challenging. So again, maybe it's somebody in your life that you find a little bit challenging, but it's not somebody that you're going to completely remove from your life. Or somebody else maybe it's somebody in your life who's dealing with health issues, or going through a hard time, maybe sending them some love and compassion. But it can all be together. It can be having this love and compassion for yourself, for other specific people in your life, or it may just be imagining everyone you know, the whole world, sending love and compassion to everyone. It's certainly clear that we all need it. and then we're gonna, so I'm gonna, it's a nice low prop, it's easy to roll off of. So we're gonna pull the prop out. And then typically being flat. But if you feel like you need to be on your side, or you can just sit up and round your back, maybe like in a butterfly pose, do that. Feels okay being flat. Just notice, is there some difference in what you're feeling now that you're flat? So even though I was on that very thin blanket, I can still feel the difference now that I'm off. Now maybe bringing the knees in, unless you came up to round, then you've already kind of stretched out your low back. And if you want to pull the knees in, do a happy baby, rock a little from side to side. And then we'll take it into a twist. So you can do regular reclining twist, knees together, let them drop over to the side. Even here, this can be intense, so maybe you're gonna put a prop underneath your legs or between the knees. If you feel like you want a deeper twist today, you can cross your left leg over your right leg, let your legs drop to the right side, and then witness, how is that? That tends to pull the lower body over farther. Tends to be a little more intense, maybe too much in your hips or your low back or your shoulder. So if it feels okay on your back, you can move your arm around, change from how that shoulder's feeling. Okay, breathe. Still feeling that love and compassion for yourself. side, slow and easy. Come on back to the middle. Take a breath. Take it to side two. So again, coming into the twist, either knees side by side, so that one ends up on top of the other, or cross your right knee over your left knee as we let the legs drop to the left side, adjust accordingly. And you can always use props. You can put something under your head, under your knees, under your arm, anywhere at all where you feel like you need it. Okay, we're gonna let go that side. Stretch it out. And then we're gonna ease our way into Shavasana. So wherever wherever you're feeling comfortable. It's fairly warm tonight, so maybe I'm just gonna put something under my head and a little something just across my abdomen. So I'm gonna take the same blanket and just bring it around across my abdomen for a little bit of weight. And sometimes I'll tuck it in too, so it's kind of get that little bit of compression feeling that can be very soothing. So just something resting on your abdomen is often very relaxing. All right, anywhere you're comfortable. So just feeling that sense of love and compassion within you. And letting go into the floor. Big breath. And notice how you are. Stretch here, wiggle toes, move your feet around, wiggle your fingers, move your wrists, arms overhead, maybe a little bit of turning of the head from side to side. And then you can roll to one side. Getting up's really hard today. And if you're coming up, come on up into a seated position. All right, we'll bring hands to the heart. Take a full breath. Thank you for being here and sharing in this practice today. Namaste.